What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Primetime Podcast. My name is Justin, and today's episode I'm talking about the Nintendo Direct for September 4th, 2019. It just ended not even 10 minutes ago, so I'm fresh right off of it, and I have to say that I'm pretty excited for a lot of the stuff that was announced. Now, I'm going to be talking about basically the main stuff. I'm going to skip a lot of the filler, unless it was something that interests me. There is one thing, we'll get to that maybe not everybody is familiar with. But going into this, we knew they were going to talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield, Luigi's Mansion 3. We knew that was going to be things they were going to talk about, but there were questions as to what were we going to see. Were we going to hear some Metroid news? There were rumors with the leaking of the Super Nintendo Joy-Con controllers. And are we going to finally hear the announcement that Switch games will be on the Nintendo Switch Online service? All these kind of questions, and I have to say, majority of them were answered. So we'll get into it in just a moment, but I need you guys to check out the great sponsor of the Primetime Podcast and Primetime 21st Gaming, Catalyst Mints. Take it from here, T-Pain.
What's good, everybody? It's your homeboy T-Pain. Let's take a look at some cool stuff. Here we go. Boom! Catalyst Mints. You know what these are? Energy mints. Amazing. You didn't think I was going to say that, but they are. I'll tell you a little something about this. Vitamin B, packed with it. Caffeine, packed with it. You know what it's not packed with? Sugar. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. You don't want calories. There's no calories in this. It's amazing. It's for your long gaming sessions after that weird date at Taco Bell. You don't want that. You want to be energized. Pop a mint, breath is good, and your energy is up. You know what's even cooler? You can either buy it like this, one pack, or you can buy the whole case. You can play Pulp Fiction with it. You can do a lot of stuff with this. So if you feel like getting arrested in the airport, then buy the whole case. It's a briefcase full of pills. Take a choice. Put it in there like that. Boom. Now you're on your way. Catalyst Mints is the energy mint. I'm going to need you to come and take 6 of these. Pour them in your mouth. Just open up the
Alright, so the Nintendo Direct starts off with Overwatch announcing that it's coming to the Switch in October of this year. Now, I don't know much about Overwatch, but I know there is a huge fan base for this game, so Nintendo, they're not playing any games, they're coming right out of the gate. They're like, alright, here we go. It is a very popular game, and now you're going to be able to play it on the Switch, so I think this is a good call by Nintendo. They'll be able to grab these players, and take this game on the go. And that's really the main focus here of the Switch. I mean, I have bought games that I have on other consoles. Let's say, for example, Resident Evil 1. I've bought in Resident Evil 1 for the PlayStation 4. I have it for the Xbox One. Did I need it for Switch? Absolutely not, but I know now that I can take that on the go and play it wherever I need to. And if I'm in a hotel room, or if I'm on a bus, or a long car ride, whatever it may be, I can now play Resident Evil wherever I want. So, from there, we moved on to the Luigi's Mansion 3, which I am super excited for, coming out October 31st, Halloween this year. They basically just showed off a few different rooms, floors, whatever. You've got the tomb suites. There was the disco hall. It's like a dance floor, and the special catch, it showed a ghost shark. That'd be pretty cool. I'm excited for that. There's also a new mode called Scream Park, and it's multiplayer. 2 to 8 people can play on one Switch. You've got Team Luigi and Team Gooigi. And the team that captures the most ghosts win. So that's pretty cool as well. They're adding different modes and stuff. It's just not a story mode, and the more the better. So I'm super excited for Luigi's Mansion 3. I loved the first Luigi's Mansion, the second Luigi's Mansion. As I have said before, I'm not a big handheld guy. I play my Switch handheld, yes, but I do like to play it, docked to actually get the full experience. Like, I played Breath of the Wild for a long time handheld, and then I put it on my dock after a while, and I'm like, man, it just doesn't capture handheld look. Yeah, it looks good and stuff, but once you have it on a big screen, you're like, wow, I couldn't really appreciate it. But that's just me. I'm not saying anything against, playing handheld. I do it too, but I do prefer playing on a TV. So that was my issue with the second Luigi's Mansion game, playing it on the 3DS. But you know what? It was still a good game regardless. I got it for that, and I enjoyed it, and I'm very sure that I'm going to enjoy this third game as well. From there, they talked about a Kirby game. It was free to start. It was called Super Kirby Clash. It's very RPG-like, multiplayer, and it was available today. So that tells you if it's free to play, there's definitely going to be some microtransactions and stuff like that. But yeah, free to play. Download it, check it out. It is available today. When you're hearing this, I don't know when you're hearing it. Maybe you're hearing it as soon as I've uploaded it. But regardless, go download it. It's available right now. Trials of Mana was announced, the remake for April 2020. I don't know much about this. I'm not a big RPG guy, but from what I could see of this game, it looks great. It looks great, and I would actually try this out. But yeah, they announced the Trials of Mana. Not a whole lot of information on that. You'd have to actually go and check out the gameplay and stuff to see how good it looks, because I'll tell you, it does look good. It looks good enough to catch someone like me who is not an RPG guy and want me to play it. So check that out. This was probably the biggest one up until this point of the video. They showed off Banjo-Kazooie, and originally we were told that Banjo would not be released for Super Smash until fall 2019. Well, technically we're not in fall yet. We're just a couple weeks away. However, they did announce that he is available today for Super Smash, and they had a video following the Direct showing you how to properly use him. And, a lot of people are very excited about that. I love the Banjo-Kazooie games, and many other people do as well, and now you're going to be able to use him in Super Smash Banjo and Kazooie. It's great stuff. And who knows, maybe eventually in time, seeing how excited people are for this, maybe we'll have a game. Maybe a game will be in the works eventually. Who knows? We'll see. Let's not push anything right now. However, this was a very nice surprise that he is now going to be available for Super Smash. So speaking of Super Smash, they kind of teased us on this part of the video. They were like going back in time, and next to the different years were the consoles that released for Nintendo and stuff, and it passes the Super Nintendo, and then it comes back to it, but then it goes off to the right of it and shows the Neo Geo. That was like, oh, are we getting the Super Nintendo Online service here? And then, it kind of goes off. Shows Neo Geo. I don't know anything about Terry from Fatal Fury. However, he is in development for Smash. I've heard rumors of that over the past, few weeks, saying that he was going to be joining, the Super Smash team, and but they confirmed it. He is joining. No date though. Just said that he is in development. They did also mention that there are more DLC fighters in development, which is fantastic. That game already has so many fighters, and they're adding more, and that's great stuff. From there, they went into The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. They didn't really show too much. They basically covered what the new amiibo is going to do. Actually, there's quite a few of them. You'll have to check out the video to see which ones. Like I know I saw the 8-bit Link, and there's the new Link's Awakening Link that releases the same day as the game. But we'll get into that in just a moment. But they did show how you could see some familiar characters, enemies, whatever in this game. They showed like some Goombas, the piranha plants. They showed Kirby. Kirby appears in the new Link's Awakening remake. But anyway, what I wanted to get to about the amiibos, if you want, there's a thing where you're going to be able to make your own dungeons and stuff. Now, if you want a friend to play that dungeon that you've created, Nintendo always does things weird when it comes to online. Like, why can't you just look up a friend, see what, or look at a game that had been uploaded by your friend? That's not how it's going to work. What it is, you'll make a dungeon, you'll transfer that dungeon by using an amiibo. Then your friend can take your amiibo, scan it on their Switch, and then they can play your dungeon. I know that's weird. It looks like that's the way it's going to be. There's not going to be an online, way to do it other than using an amiibo to transfer them. I mean, regardless, it still looks cool, and I hold hope for one day we will see a Legend of Zelda Maker. Kind of like Super Mario Maker, where you can make dungeons. Man, that would be so awesome. Taking the original 8-bit style game and making your own dungeons and stuff. That would be cool. Unfortunately, up until this point, the only way you can get a Zelda game like that is the Legend of Zelda Randomizer, where you can go in the settings and you're not really placing bombs where, they need hidden hearts or hidden bombs or anything like that. You're just letting it randomize, tell it what kind of weapons you want to start with, or randomize the caves. That's about it. But it's still fun, the Legend of Zelda Randomizer. So there we go. I'm plugging that right now. But unfortunately, this is how that's going to work. I mean, it's cool, whatever. But, I really wish the online service would get better. And we're getting to that. It is going to get a bit better. So here they head into Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I am not a big Pokemon guy. I know bare minimum about Pokemon. My friend Dion, who has been on the show here before, he's the Pokemon guy. So I'm going to try to cover this the best that I can. Just glaze over it, what they talked about. You're going to be able to customize your look for your character now. Anything from the hair to your clothing that you wear. And like I said, I don't know much about this, but seeing, some of the different stuff you can do to your character, it looks refreshing. It looks nice. Like you'll be able to customize them. And, that's always nice. They announced 2 new Pokemon. There was the Poltergeist, which is a ghost in a teapot that looks like. And then there's the Cramorant, a pelican. What it looks like to me. Pelican. Alright, so like I mentioned, the Switch Online service is going to get better, and it definitely did here, because they made the announcement. They teased us earlier, like I said, with the Super Nintendo going over to the Neo Geo. Well, we're finally getting SNES online games, and it was announced that it will be available starting tomorrow. That is huge. That is huge. I have been wanting to get back into The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past for a while now. And I was holding off to see maybe when we would get it on Switch. And I'm glad I did not start it, because I want to be able to play it whenever, wherever I want, and not have to, play it here at home on the Super Nintendo Classic or on an actual NES, or SNES, excuse me, and then, have to wait to play it until I get home, or, like I said, I love the on-the-go feature, and this is going to be awesome. So they did give the list of games that will be available September 5th. And here they are. We got Brawl Brothers, Demon's Crest, Joe and Mac 2, Lost in the Tropics, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Star Fox, Super EDF, Earth Defense Force, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Super Puyo Puyo 2, Super Tennis, Breath of Fire, F-Zero, Kirby's Dream Course, Pilot Wings, Stunt Race FX, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Soccer, and The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. That is a heck of a list to start off with. So who knows what other games we're going to, eventually see. Maybe like a Super Castlevania, stuff like that, which is already available on the Switch if you buy the Castlevania collection. But still, this is that is a heck of a list. They also announced the Switch controller for the Super Nintendo, and this is very nice. You know, I have the NES controllers, and it'll be done the same way. However, it looks like you're only going to be able to buy one, where the last, for the NES controllers, you actually got two that went along the side of the Switch, and they charged like Joy-Cons. Well, these will not be like a Joy-Con. It will be like a Pro controller. So you'll hook it in, charge it USB style, or play it that way. And so that's nice, because even though you're not supposed to play the NES Joy-Cons on the sides of the Switch, it looks so bulky and terrible. But yeah, you got two originally for the NES controllers. It looks like you're only going to get one, and it is the same way. To purchase these, you have to have an online account through the Nintendo Switch. Go on and order them that way, and they're going to be $30. Not bad. Not bad. For one controller, not bad. They showed a little bit of the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games, which was announced not too long ago. I've never really gotten into these games when they were out for the Switch or the Wii U. I don't know. It was cool to see Mario and Sonic in a game together like that, but, it wasn't something I got into. Until they showed that you can play, with the 8-bit or 16-bit style retro sprites. Like, you can play as original Mario from the original Super Mario game, or Sonic from, his 1991 game. Stuff like that, that's really cool to me, and there'll be different modes where you can play as, those retro sprites. They announced the story mode for the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games, where Mario, Sonic, Bowser, and Dr. Eggman must escape from a game based on the Olympic Games Tokyo 1964. And that game will be releasing in November 2019. I believe it's November 5th. A lot of other games were announced. Upcoming games like Just Dance 2022, November 5th, 2019. I believe that game is also releasing on the Wii. That's right, not the Wii U, the Wii. That blows your mind. I know it does. We've got Grid Autosport, September 19th, 2019. Farming Simulator 20, December 3rd, 2019. NBA 2K20, September 6th, 2019. Just coming up here in the next couple days. Devil May Cry 2, September 19th, 2019. And Vampire will release October 29th, 2019. And they capped the whole thing off with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition releasing in 2020. So this is basically the first Xenoblade, originally released in 2012 for the Wii, and it is getting a port onto the Switch. So if you're into that game, I'm sure you're excited for that. There is one. I kept this towards the end because I kind of wanted to get through all of the big things first. This excites me. I'm sure it probably won't excite a lot of you. You might not know what it is. I want to say it was 2010. It was a survival horror game called Deadly Premonition. I played this game and I loved it. It was weird. I mean, it's like it has like a comedy aspect, but also can turn very dark and horror. My wife cannot comprehend the both of those, so she was like just straight up dismisses the game. But if you actually sit down and play it, it's a great game. It covers the Raincoat Killer, and you're a detective, and you go and you have to try to solve this case, and you meet these different characters that live in this town, and you become, you begin to like these people and become attached to these people. The game is just really, really fun, and it can get challenging. However, that was 2010. I never would have expected to be sitting here saying that we are going to be getting the sequel for Deadly Premonition. It's going to be called Deadly Premonition 2, A Blessing in Disguise, and it is set for 2020. Unfortunately, man, I was really hoping we would see that as one of these, coming out next month or available today. But you know what? That's okay. I'm just super excited that it's even happening, because it's like this game took place. We've never heard anything again now for 9 years. And so 10 years later, we're going to get a sequel. 10 years is way too long for a sequel, but I'm going to take it. I'll take what they give me. But there was good news that the original game, Deadly Premonition. So for those of you who are hearing this, who've never heard of this game before, I recommend it to you. It's going to be available on the Switch today. And it's going to be titled Deadly Premonition Origins. And like I said, that's available on the Switch today. Go pick it up. I don't know what the price is right now. But I'm definitely picking it up. I need refreshed on this game before the sequel comes out. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. Doom 64 was announced for Switch, and it'll be the first time that this game will be put on a Nintendo game, or re-released on a Nintendo system since its initial release in '97. Doom 64 was definitely a really fun game. And, just seeing a 64 game come on the Switch, kind of exciting. I know we just got Super Nintendo games, on the Switch, but who knows? Maybe eventually we'll get those 64 games on there as well. So, yeah, Doom 64 coming to the Nintendo Switch November 22nd, 2019. So, overall, I think this was a really good Nintendo Direct. Very exciting, like I said, Deadly Premonition stole the show for me, where maybe it wouldn't for you, but I love that about Nintendo. They touch every base. So where I was excited about Deadly Premonition, the original game, available now on Switch, and the sequel coming out next year, maybe you weren't. Maybe you were excited about Overwatch, where I wasn't. And that's the best part about Nintendo. They touch every base, and it's a good time to be a fan of Nintendo. The Switch is incredible. If you don't have one, my God, I cannot recommend it enough. So before I get out of here, I just want to tell you, if you are not familiar with Deadly Premonition, head over to my YouTube channel, Primetime 21st Gaming, and I did a review on it a while back. You can check out that review. There's a bunch of other reviews as well, and live streams to check out over there on Primetime 21st Gaming on YouTube. Check me out on social media, at Primetime21st on Twitter, and Primetime21st_gaming on Instagram. You can also check out the great sponsor of Primetime 21st Gaming, Catalyst Mints, through the description. I should have the link listed. But guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Primetime Podcast. Be sure to subscribe. I'm not sure how you're listening to this, whether it's on my YouTube channel. Go over to Google Podcast and subscribe to me there. Google Play Music. You can find the podcast there as well. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Primetime Podcast.